Hello everyone, welcome back to Everyday Shed. I'm Carlos and today I'm sharing with you the top 3 mistakes I've made building shed doors. And after building hundreds of shed doors, these are the ones that stand out the most. And whether you are a DIYer or a builder, make sure you pay attention to the last one, which is critical to get that shed door built right the first time. An old shed door sometimes can be repaired. But in this video, we're focusing on building a new door from scratch. It works for replacing a door or if you're building a new shed. And after you remove the door, or if you're starting fresh, you don't have a door, I recommend not install the trim just yet. Let's get those out of the way because this is part of installing and leveling the door. And the first mistake I made building shed doors is actually overbuilding them, adding extra material that doesn't do any good to the door. It actually makes them heavier and they can sag over the ears. So let's start framing the door. And the first thing we need is the height of the door opening. You measure that and you subtract half of an inch. That's gonna give us a quarter of an inch on top and a quarter of an inch on the bottom so the door can open and close easily. From there, we are cutting 4 2x4s to that exact length. The cross members get cut next. Start by measuring the full width of the door opening. Divide that number into 2 since there are 2 doors. Then take quarter of an inch off. That's going to give us with a half-inch gap in between. From there, we subtract 7 inches. That's 2 vertical 2x4s. That's going to give you the length of each cross member. We're going to need a total of 6 cross members for the double doors. It's time to make gussets that's going to hold everything together. I'm using a scrap piece of LP smart siding. You can use plywood, OSB, anything would work just as well. If you don't have any scrap, you're still gonna have leftover material from the door panel. Just plan ahead and use that extra material. The gussets are triangle shaped pieces cut from scrap. They are about 8 inches wide or even 10 inches wide if you prefer. The exact cut doesn't have to be perfect. A miter saw, a sliding compound saw, or even a circular saw would work. The goal is simple, making these triangle shaped pieces that will hold the frame together. You will need a total of 12 gussets, and once you have all of these cut, we're ready to put together the framing for the door. It is time to put everything together. Lay the 2x4s on a flat surface so it's easier to work. Start with one side attaching the gusset to the frame. Screws or nails will both work. I'm using nails to move faster. These are the same nails used for siding a shed. And once you do one, you do the same thing on all the other gussets all around framing the door. And when attaching the gussets to the corners, make sure that the framing members are nice and flush with the studs. Sometimes you may need to apply some pressure pushing them in place before you drive nails or screws into the gusset. With both doors framed, it's time to add sheeting. I'm using LP Smart Siding since it's the most common and easy to find. If you're building a new shed, you may already have the door cutouts that fit here. In this case, I'm just using a full sheet and cutting to size. Start at one corner, lining up the sheet with the frame, keeping it flush and tight. Then you move to the opposite corner and you line that side up with the factory edge. If both of these corners are flush with the factory edge cut of the sheeting, you're likely to have a door that's nice and square. If you're using a full sheet of siding like I am, just cut the extra off. One tip I recommend is leaving 1.5 inches extra on the bottom of the door. This helps cover the bottom opening and keeps things protected. But only do this if you do not have a ramp. A ramp will hit the bottom of the door and get in the way. And now that we installed both sheeting on the doors, it's time to talk about the trim. Over the years, I used wood trim on these doors, trying to keep the cost down and save the client some money, but that pays on the long term. If you installed wood trim on a shed, it's a perfect scenario for water to hit the door, runs down, and collect between the trim and the door. This water will sit there for days until it dries up, causing the door to rot. You're gonna see that a very common scenario on many doors. Nowadays, I use PVC trim. This one, it's called Royal Trim. You can find it at Lowe's. It does cost a little more than LP Smart Trim, but it makes that door last much longer and gives a nicer product in the end. The trim will go on the door next all the way around, plus one piece in the center. There are a couple measurements that you need to consider here. At the top, make sure to leave 3/4 of an inch of trim sticking up. This acts as a stopper against the siding. And since we have a double door, the trim is different on each side. One door is 3/4 of an inch shorter and the other door has a 3/4 inch overlap. This lets the doors close tight and overlap each other. And now we are on to mistake number 3, which is using incorrect hardware or not even knowing which hardware to use. The problem we have here is that today you don't find any of these hardware available at your local hardware store. So you end up having to source it online, either Amazon or eBay. And the problem with that is you never know what you're getting. For instance, on Amazon, you can get these hinges, but the problem with that is you get this tiny screws that doesn't do the justice of holding up a big door like this. That's why we created a door kit that you can source from everydayshed.com. I'm going to leave the link in the description and a QR code for you right here. This is a complete hardware kit that you need, including the screws to install a shed door onto your shed. The kit will come with 6 6-inch heavy-duty hinges. These hinges are perfect to mount double doors ranging from 48 inches all the way to 72 inches. First, I like to install the hinges onto the door on a flat surface. Only then I'll move the door over to the shed and mount it on the shed. Before installing the doors, the trim needs to go on first. The old trim was removed for 2 reasons. It's being replaced with PVC trim and it needs to set at the right height. We want this trim to extend 3/4 of an inch above the door opening. This will help the door close properly and sit in place. There are 2 tools that I use that makes installing doors much easier. One is a cabinet arm jack. This is going to help lift the door as high as I need. And the other one is the speed square. The speed square works because it's 1/4 of an inch thick, and that's exactly what we need between the door and the door header. With the arm jack underneath the door, I jack the door as high as again until it bottoms out with the speed square. Then on the outside, with the carpenter clamp, I clamp the 2 trims together and I drive 1 screw in to the hinge. I do the same for the other 2 hinges just so I can check if the door is operational. Once I'm satisfied with the door, I'll continue adding all the screws onto the hinges. And after you're done with one door, you repeat the same process on the second door. Then you can check if the doors close properly. The kit will come with spring latch barrel bolt sets. These will need to be mounted on the door that's stationary most of the time. This is the one that has the smaller trims installed. After installing the barrel bolt, close the door, mark where the bolt lines up, then drill a 3/4 inch hole right on that spot. This is where the bolt will lock the door in place. The next component we need to install is the T-handle lock, which comes next, and it's also part of the kit. Mark the center of the trim both horizontal and vertical. That should be about 1.75 inches from both ends. Drill a 3/4 inch hole right on that spot, and then you slide the T-handle through the hole and drive a couple screws holding in place. To finish the lock, you go on the inside of the door and there's a small handle called the D handle that needs to be tightened. Use an Allen wrench to secure the D handle in place. Then I'm gonna go check that the door is operational, and as a final touch, add all the screws on the hinges that I missed, making sure every hole is covered. The final step is adding the PVC trim across the top of the door. I cut the piece a little longer than the full width of the door. The extra gets split evenly on both sides. This helps the door look clean and finished. So now we have a very nice door that will last for years to come. And the key there obviously is having the right hardware. You're not gonna find this hardware just anywhere. So make sure you check out everydayshed.com. The link it's in the description. QR code for you right here. And next, I'm gonna show you how to build a single door. Many of us don't wanna do the double door, they want just a single door instead. I'll show you that next, and check out this video right here if you're interested. We also have a kit for the single door if you like. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one.